name's Alex, and I was just 13 when my entire life was ruined in one night. I didn't even have a chance. I was just a kid. But somehow, I became the criminal. Even my dad didn't believe me. It all started on a Friday. I stayed late at the school library. Home wasn't exactly the happiest place. But that day, something felt wrong the second I opened the door. My mom was crying. My dad was on the phone, pacing like crazy. "What's going on?" I asked. My dad stared at me, like I was a stranger. "Sit down, Alex," he said coldly. 15 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Police. With a warrant. They took me, right out of my own house, no warning, no explanation. My mom screamed. I shouted, "I didn't do anything. You've got the wrong person." But they didn't care. They said I broke into the principal's house, stole his safe full of documents, money, and confidential files. Why did they think it was me? Because the security footage showed someone in a black hoodie, just like mine. And they found one fingerprint on the front door handle. Mine. That was all it took. I was questioned for hours. No lawyer, no parents, just me. The detective leaned in and said, "Just confess, kid. It'll go easier for you. We know it was you." But it wasn't. I didn't even know where the principal lived. I couldn't even open a safe like that. But nobody listened. And the worst part? My dad was a cop. And when I looked into his eyes, he believed them. "Alex," he said, when they let me go home under watch, "if you did something, tell me now. I can't help you if you're lying." That broke me. He wasn't my dad anymore. He was just another cop. At school, it was hell. "Yo, look, it's the thief." My friends ghosted me. Teachers stared at me like I was dangerous. One night, I heard my parents arguing. Mom was sobbing. "He's your son. He's a child. How can you just—" "If I defend him, I lose my badge," my dad said. "We don't have a choice." That's when I realized he chose his career over me. He was willing to let me burn to protect himself. After that night, something in me snapped. If no one was going to believe me, then I'd prove it myself. I started digging. First, I tried to find the security footage, the one that proved I did it. But the school said it was confidential. Even the police wouldn't let my mom see it. Why? What were they hiding? Then I remembered. The principal had a son, Jason. He was 17. And everyone knew he had problems, drugs, fights, cops at their house like every other month. But Jason always got away with everything. His dad protected him. I knew it sounded insane, but what if Jason was the one who robbed his own house? I tried to talk to him at school. "Hey, Jason, can I ask you something?" He just grinned. "What? You want to steal something else, freak?" Then he leaned closer and whispered, "Too bad you don't have a real dad. Might have helped you." Something about the way he said it made my skin crawl. He wanted me to hear that. He knew something. That night, I snuck into my dad's office. He kept his police laptop there. Password protected, obviously, but I'd watched him log in 100 times. He used his badge number. I got in. I searched for my name. There was my case file. But there was something weird. One of the officers who filed the original report, Detective O'Reilly. That was Jason's uncle. Everything clicked. Jason robs the house. His dad covers it up. His uncle, a detective, pins it on the easy target, me. It was a setup. And the worst part? My dad must have known. He'd worked with O'Reilly for over 10 years. To be continued. I stared at the flash drive in my hand like it was on fire. My father's voice still echoed in my head. It was me. I had to do it. I had no choice. How could he say that? How could he do that to his own son? I wanted to scream, to break something. But instead, I just sat there, numb. The detective who had helped me uncover the truth gave me a moment. Then he sat beside me. "You okay, kid?" I shook my head. "He ruined my life," I whispered, "and now I don't even know what to do with this." The detective sighed. "You don't have to decide tonight, but you deserve justice." That night, I didn't sleep. Not even for a second. I kept thinking about everything I'd lost. My friends, my school, my freedom, my childhood. All because my father didn't want a scandal before his promotion. He threw me under the bus, the same kid he'd once taught to ride a bike. I stared at the flash drive for hours. The next morning, I made a decision. I copied the files onto another drive and walked into the police station. Not my father's precinct. A different one downtown. I handed the drive to Internal Affairs. "My name is Ethan Walker," I said. "I was blamed for a robbery I didn't commit. I have evidence that my father, Captain Richard Walker, staged it to protect himself." They looked at me like I was insane, but they took the drive. And everything started unraveling. 2 weeks later, my father was suspended. He tried to deny it. He cried on the news. He said I was confused and manipulated. But the evidence didn't lie. His emails, the security footage he hid, the logs he forged, it was all there. He lost his badge, his reputation, his career. But I didn't feel better. I felt empty. People at school still looked at me like I was a ghost. Some apologized. Most didn't. The teachers treated me differently, like I was fragile. Even when I got a formal apology from the school board, it didn't erase the months I'd spent isolated and accused. One afternoon as I left school, I saw him. My dad, standing near the gate in plain clothes. He looked older, smaller, broken. I wanted to walk away, but instead I stopped. "You ruined me," I said. My voice was calm, but it cut deeper than a scream. He looked at me, his eyes full of something between shame and desperation. "I know," he whispered, "and I don't expect forgiveness. I had no idea what it would do to you." I laughed bitterly. "You didn't think about what it would do. You cared about your promotion, not me." "I was scared," he said. "If the precinct found out about the gambling, the debts, everything would have collapsed. I thought you were strong, that you'd get through it." My jaw clenched. I was 13. Silence. He reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope. "I've started paying back the people I owe. This is for you. I know it's not enough. It never will be." I didn't take it. "I don't want your money." He nodded slowly, tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I'll be sorry for the rest of my life." He walked away, and I stood there, shaking. Months passed. The story spread across the internet. Corrupt cop frames own son. Some people supported me. Others didn't believe it. But I kept going. I studied harder. I joined a teen support group for wrongfully accused youth. And I started telling my story publicly. Not for attention, but for the other kids out there who were scared, silenced, or blamed for things they didn't do. One day, I was invited to speak at a national youth conference. There were hundreds of people in the audience. And when I walked on stage, I paused for a second. Then I told them everything. About the lies, the betrayal, the fear, and the strength it took to face the truth. People cried. They clapped. They stood. Realized something then. My father tried to bury me. But he didn't know I was a seed. And now, I was growing into something stronger than I ever imagined. They blamed me for the crime, but now, I tell my own story. And no one will ever silence me again.